Hello friends, welcome to Dish Kitty Studio. My name is Trish. Thank you so much for tuning in to my channel. I am going to flip through my daily journal, Fauxbonichi, illustrated journal, visual journal, whatever you want to call it. This is actually the last flip through I'm going to do of this book because it's done. I finally finished it. So I mentioned in a previous video that I was going to add this little dangle and then I was going to add the book number, which is number 24, you can see here. So I did do that. And I'm just going to go ahead and get started from where I left off last time, which was, let me back up just a little bit. Whoops. There we go. So you can see this whole thing. I did, this page was the last page in my previous flip through. So this day right here is Mother's Day. So here is a picture of my family. We all went out for brunch and I thought this picture of us turned out really nice. So I printed it out on my little Polaroid printer and stuck it in. Down here I drew, my sister made this amazing like cupcake bouquet. It looked like a bouquet of flowers, but it was cupcakes. It was so cool. So I tried to draw a picture of it. It does not do it justice, trust me. So that was that. This was just a regular day, but I drew a picture of my cats crying because they're geriatric. Like they're both about 15 years old and they just get in these moods. You know, I swear they have arthritis and they're just crotchety and cranky, and sometimes, like, you know, I work from home and sometimes they just drive me freaking bonkers, and this day they were on my nerves. You can see here a bunch of mops and brooms and a duster. I did a ton of chores, obviously, cleaned my house. Very exciting life I lead. This day, my husband and I went for a walk on a local trail. There were these beautiful flowers. I think they're called blue phlox, P-H-L-O-X. And so I drew those. And then also my husband found this like a baby doll laying on a bench. And it was just super weird. I was kind of creeped out by it, but he was insistent that we have to take the baby doll to the front of the trail because some little girl is going to come back looking for her doll and we have to make sure she can find it and yada yada yada. So he carried the doll the whole time until we got to the end, back at the beginning of the trail, and he left it at the front so that this little girl would find her dolly again. This day, I'm not sure what was going on. I'm not going to read all that, but I know I found a morel mushroom in our yard. We usually have one big fat morel that is in our yard every year. This was the day I plucked it. And then this is just a little piece of a candy wrapper from, I think, Trader Joe's. Yeah, Trader Joe's. Cookie butter filled dark chocolate bar. Highly recommend. It was good. This day, we met up, my husband and I met up with some friends of ours at a local brewery. Here's a sticker from the brewery. And we did trivia. So I took this page with the pub quiz rules. We only got second place. We were so close, you guys. Oh my gosh. I swear we need to do this again because we can win. This just was not our game. It was like craft beer week and there were 2 whole rounds that were all beer questions, and like it was just some crazy stuff that, of course, one team knew, the first place team, but it was just outside of our realm of knowledge. I also drew some popcorn because we ate popcorn at the brewery. And then this is, I drew like a little wand because I decided I was gonna, as like a little experiment, I decided to try pulling a tarot card a day. Mainly I was kind of doing it because I'm still doing the 100-day project and I'm writing a blog post every single day for 100 days. And I was kind of like, oh, okay, well this, if I pull a card and then write about the card on my blog, that would be some good like content that will, you know, kind of get me through for a while. So I decided to do it, and the card I pulled was something wands, the 10 of wands. So I just drew the little wand there. I didn't do it for very long. I love tarot cards. I think they're super cool. I love the artwork, but it's just not something that I like to look at them, but I don't necessarily like, you know, pulling a card every day and ruling my life by what's on a card. This day, my husband and I had big plans. There was a huge neighborhood sale. It's like so big that they have a printable map and a digital map, so you can actually go online and look at a map on your phone, and it tells you like where each sale is and what they have at the sale and everything. And for dinner, we went to this brand new place that's right near our house called Lake Burger, and decided to give that a try. So I stuck the map in here, and then I stuck a little menu from the new place in here. This day, nothing much exciting, but we did change our sheets and wash the sheets and the bedspread and all that, put on our new bedspread. And so here's my little mouse and the clean sheets and the new bedspread. Another day where not much exciting, work, gym, you know, all that kind of stuff. I made summer squash for dinner, so I drew a little summer squash here. And I got this amazing postcard in the mail from my good friend BJ. She went to Amsterdam, and she went to the Van Gogh Museum, so she sent me this postcard, and I loved it so much. So I stuck it in my book. This was another day. I was out running errands, and while I was out, I had to go and get new highlighters. My most favorite, of course, I don't have any here right in front of me that I can show you, but the Sharpie highlighters are my most favorite highlighter of all time. They make a couple different ones. The ones I like are the ones where you can actually see the ink inside. They have a clear barrel and you can see the ink inside. They make ones that are just like a regular highlighter. I don't even have one of those here, but just like the whole barrel is yellow or green or whatever. These have the clear barrel with ink inside. Those are my most favorite. They come in a big pack. I want to say maybe 10 colors for like $10, I think I paid at Office Depot. So my green one actually ran out of ink that day, so while I was out running errands, I stopped and got a brand new pack because I literally cannot live without them. Like all these titles you see on just about every single page in my book, that's a highlighter. That's highlighter. I write almost all of my titles with highlighter. So I had to replace that immediately, so I drew a little picture of it. I took my mom to an appointment, went for a walk with my husband, and I made scrambled eggs for dinner. So you can see some scrambled eggs there. What else? Okay, this was an evening where I took my mom to an appointment. And then as soon as I was finished, my husband and I went to the local art museum. These are our little, you get a little sticker when you get in so that they know that you checked in at the front desk. We went to the art museum to see a couple of exhibits that I really didn't want to miss. One of them is, I think her name's Maya Freelon, and the entire exhibit is made, it's like a 3D installation, and it's all made from painted tissue paper, and it's so freaking cool. It was really, really neat. I loved it. Afterwards, we went to this really cheesy little carnival up the street from our house, and we got a corn dog and some fries for dinner. And then we went and got froyo afterwards. Okay, we had dinner at Chili's, but during the day, in the afternoon, some friends of ours that recently moved away to Ohio came back into town for the long weekend, because we're getting into Memorial Weekend here, and brought their brand new baby. So I got to meet her for the first time. Her name is June. She's so cute. It was wonderful to catch up with them and get to meet June. It was great. Okay, this was a kind of a huge day. My husband and I got up early, hit the road to Detroit, and we went to the Henry Ford Museum. So they have a Star Trek exhibit that is going on there, I think for most of the summer, but since it was a long weekend, we decided we wanted to go and see it right away. Oh, I'm trying to pull the stuff out of this pocket. I used part of the, like, brochure for the Henry Ford Museum to make a pocket. So one cool thing they have at the museum, first of all, the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile is there and you can look at it. But they have these little rubbing stations. So you know, they've got like it all set up. So you just put a piece of paper over and you take a crayon and rub it and you get a rubbing of the thing. So of course that was right up my alley. So this is the Dymaxion house. If you're not familiar with what that is, I'll tell you in a second. This is a coreless steam engine. This is a menu from Zingerman's Deli, which is, it's a little deli about 30 minutes or so away from the museum. It's one of my husband and I's most favorite places ever. They have amazing cheese. Everything they have is great. Great sandwiches. We didn't eat there, but we did buy some cheese, and I bought some brownies. They make amazing brownies, so I bought like a pack of brownies that had 4 different flavors in it. We went there after the museum. Anyway, I'm just kind of going through what's in here. This is a little train car diner that's inside the Henry Ford Museum. We went there and had lunch while we were at the museum. It was really cool because we actually got a seat in the diner. This is the Dymaxion house. This is just a postcard. It's basically like this round metal house, and I want to say it's from 1946 was when it was designed and built. At the time it was extremely high tech, but it's super cool. It's very small, but like the way they make use of, you can kind of tour through it. The way they made use of the space is like really cool. It was super high tech even for now, because to save space, like the closet, like the things slide, you know, so you can like push a button and the stuff in the closet moves and then you can see more stuff. And the drawer, same thing with the drawers, like you push a button and the drawer moves up and then another drawer opens. It's pretty crazy. The Dymaxion house never took off, but it was really, like, we had a really good time looking through it. On the back of this, I just have a sticker that I got from Zingerman's at the Deli, the place that we went after the museum, our favorite place. These are just our tickets for admission to the museum. Here's a great, we got this little photo strip taken at the museum. Another really cool thing we did was they have a whole, you know, because they have like, it's all really about innovation in transportation. So they have a whole thing about flight and airplanes and the Wright brothers and all that kind of stuff. And they have this whole deal where you make your own paper planes, and then they have a testing area so you can actually like try out your plane and fly it. All right, this one.
Is this the glider?
This is first flight of Mike's race glider. Go! Oh, the best by far. So it was really fun. I kept one of the planes. This was one that my husband made, I think, called the Racer. So I drew a little airplane here and I stuck all of that stuff in a pocket. Also, we did go to the Star Trek exhibit. Let me back up here while I tell you about that, because if you've watched this channel at all, I'm sure you've heard me mention before that I'm a super, super nerdy Trekkie. I love Star Trek. I've watched it. I watched the reruns of the original series when I was a kid. And then when I was in junior high, The Next Generation came on. I watched all the movies in between there, and I watched reruns, and I've watched all of it. So this exhibit was very cool because not only did they have a ton of like the actual filming models of like the Deep Space Nine space station and the some of the Enterprise ships that were the actual filming models for movies and the TV shows and all that, and costumes that were worn by the actors and all that sort of thing. They also had like some interactive type stuff. So we actually got to get beamed to a forest planet.
Get your tricorder ready. Are you ready? Stand still. Transport in progress. Okay, you've arrived on the surface of a lush, forested planet. It's time to use your tricorder. Act like you're scanning the plants.
So go around in a circle, up and down, yep.
Now the plants are reacting to your scans by releasing a toxic gas.
Uh-oh.
Act like you're choking to try to fan away the gas. You're transporting back to the Enterprise now. Well done.
So that was really, really fun. And they had this like little booth where, the iconic scene from Star Trek II where Kirk says, "Khan!" There was like a Khan booth where you could go in and you do that. They film you doing the Khan scream, and then they cut you in to the scene so you can watch it. It was really fun. We had a great time. It was a great day. It was really busy. It was long. We left early. We got home late. We did all kinds of things, but it was super duper fun. The next day, I had breakfast with my mom. So here's eggs and bacon. And my husband and I ran some errands. We had to get some new rugs for the house. And then we spent most of the day, the rest of the day anyway, cleaning our carpets. We were shampooing carpets and then sweeping and mopping the floors and all that kind of stuff. Just, it was time. We also grilled for dinner, that's always something I enjoy. This was Memorial Day. We ordered pizza and we watched TV. It was a pretty lazy day. I drew this here because we've been watching Stargate. I've actually never watched any Stargate until just recently, so I kind of like drew a little quick Stargate here. If you watched it, I'm sure you're familiar with that. I'm not going to get into... first of all, I haven't watched enough of it to get into anything, but yeah. I worked out and I boxed a little bit, so here's me hitting the bag. A very little bit. It's very intense and I can only do a little bit at a time, but I did that as well as like elliptical and that kind of thing. I also did this face mask, the unicorn hologram. Check it out. So I thought the label was cool, so I kept it. In my last video on my channel, I made a passport for my mouse. This was the day that I did that, so I just drew the little passport that has his picture. This is a day where we went for a walk again. We saw some more beautiful flowers. These were not phlox. I'm not sure what these were, but they were pink and purple and white, and they smelled amazing. It was so cool because we walked into like just the mouth of the trail and it's covered with all these flowers and it smelled amazing and it was so cool. What's happening here? Oh, I barely slept a wink the night before. I'm not sure why. I was so tired, but I actually ended up taking a nap after work, which is basically unheard of for me. So I do have a couple blank pages. You can see I cut a few pages out of here. And this I stuck in here with a paper clip. This is just a letter, kind of a letter to myself that I wrote shortly after I started this journal. So I wanted to make sure it stayed in here. These are just a bunch of random stickers I collected while I was working on this book. So I stuck those in. And that's it. That is all there is to this one. I got this part finished like I talked about. The only thing left for me to do with this book, number 24, is to scan the pages and then archive them. I do scan every single page of all of my journals and save them to a passport drive. I know that's kind of crazy. This one won't take me long to finish because I think I've got most of it done. There's maybe only like 3 weeks or so at the very end that I haven't scanned yet. So once I get that done, this will be completely finished and ready to go on the shelf. I have already started journal number 25. I am not going to show it to you yet. It's really, really cool. I'm super excited about it. I've done a few pages in it. I love how they're turning out. It's a completely different format than I've done before. I think that you will be interested to see what it is. And I am super excited to show you. So stay tuned to my channel. Like this video, subscribe so you don't miss out on anything. And I will see you again soon. Thanks so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. Have a great day.